Welcome back to my studio. Today this is a little Valentine's painting and I'm working on the little pansies here, or violas, Johnny jump ups, but they're going to be cascading down and this hummingbird's coming to one. And I'm using mixtures of ultramarine blue plus white and dioxazine purple plus white. And I work some of the purple in here because purple is the complementary color to white. Or, excuse me, let me start over, I get tongue twisted here. Purple is the complementary color to yellow. It's directly across the color wheel from yellow. And by placing complementary colors next to each other, they make each other appear brighter. And so the purple makes the yellows appear much brighter, makes them more intense. So it just increases their level of brightness, intensity, however you want to say it. So that's why I'm bringing some purples in here, and little blues. And these are white, but these are, I'm first putting in my shadows color. These are just pretty little flowers. To be careful that picked up some of the red and yellow underneath. I have to just gently lay the color on there. So I just continue putting these little shapes of the pansies in. We'll work some leaves around there in a minute, but just they dangle down. They're just really a fun to add because they dangle and go every which way. They're just, I love these. They have little faces, and some of them come out down here, and this little hummingbird is coming to one of the little blossoms down here. And we'll put a few more. Don't want to break over my heart too much. So let's put another one in here. Now the leaves are mainly up in this part because the others will dangle down. And I just work around the leaves. I'm using a bright brush. This is a square brush, and I can use the corner of the brush to just work around the shapes of the pansies. And they're tumbling out of these blue bonnets. I'm going to have one. See, that's a white blue bonnet top, so I don't want one in there. I think that's good. We'll go from there. We can always add more in. This is phthalo blue plus a little bit of liquid, just to give some cool dark within the foliage. Their little leaves are pretty tiny. The sun's coming in from the upper right, so these leaves here get brighter. I'd like to add some texture in there. I keep wiping my brush. The secret to nice, pretty, crisp, clean color on your canvas is a clean brush. So I wipe it out pretty frequently. Now I'm going to add the little vinies coming down. And I'm using a maul stick. This hooks over the top of my easel. And I can just rest my wrist on this to steady my arm as I add all the little stems and little vines coming down. And now these come to here, to these little blossoms down here that the hummingbird is coming to. Now let's see, we're going to have some here. And then we'll have, let's see, this vine here. We'll let it come off of that stem. I love these, and it just gets these little danglies that are just really interesting little, fun to put those in. Let's little dangle come down, just a little vine come down here. Just break over that heart just a little bit. That helps give depth in the painting when you have elements overlapping. Now we're going to add the little faces on the pansies here. This is a mixture of magenta plus liquid. And these blossoms are kind of hidden back there up under bluebonnets. These just give that distinct look to the little pansies. These are such happy flowers. And they just tumble out of those boots. I had an old pair of gardening boots that I'd finally worn out and kind of had holes in the bottoms of the soles, and so Jack said, well, why don't you make planters out of those? So we did, and they worked out just beautifully. And so every once in a while it's fun to paint them, and this was a commission. It's a Valentine's gift, so we added hearts onto the boots. And our little faces on our pansies. And this one that our hummingbird's coming to. Now I want to add the white highlights on these. I just again take my bright brush. I can just add those highlights. I can just use the corner of the brush to make those fine strokes. I may have to come back in and add a little bit more onto the little faces, but this just adds that nice crisp white. Let them break in front of the sunflower. The sunflower pot's back behind. Come back in and let's come back in and fix these little faces where I brought some of the white over them. I'll add a little rim of white here. And I don't know if you can see it in the video, but I'm making that highlights pretty thick. As a general rule, and again, all rules can be broken, but you want your highlight paint to be thick and your paint and your shadows to be thinner, because that thick paint just helps bring your eye to the highlights. And so that's how we make our little pansies, Johnny jump-ups. I really appreciate you watching my YouTube videos. Please subscribe to my video and visit my blog. The link is in the description below. You can also subscribe to my blog and you'll get an email every time I post a new one. And the link is for my blog is in the description below, and that will allow you to go back and see the total, complete, step-by-step process of this painting. And I just want you to have a wonderful, wonderful day. I appreciate you visiting my studio, and thank you again. Happy painting!